So let's pivot and kind of move on to a very different topic, because there's a number of questions that are relating to this that I think would be interesting to get into. But let's start off with this. It seems all the smaller and mid-market size companies are being purchased by the larger brands. Besides just saying our service is better, it's hard to compete on price. What can we do to compete?
That's a huge question. I think the biggest thing is that right now as an industry, I think we're failing to understand our customers. And I think what happens is it used to be rental was amazing because it was if you didn't want to buy a piece of equipment, you could rent it. And it was just an easy solution. But now that, like you said, there's so many companies jumping into the rental game, the biggest question that comes about now is how do you win at it? And I think we need to pivot, as you put it, and sit down and talk to our customers and ask them, what should the rental industry look like? What better services can we offer? How can we better serve? Can we have better customer interface? Can we make it easier for them to do transactions? Like, it used to just be that it was a service and it didn't matter. You could be a mom and pop shop, and as long as you had the chainsaw, you got the business. But now with the market changing, can they order it online? Can they return it? Can they watch videos on how to use it? I think the market's completely changing, and if we don't ask our customers what they want, I think the rental industry is going to be stagnant.
Yeah. And just asking them, what are the pain points when they're trying to rent the equipment, and just identifying that and then trying to work around it to improve that, that experience for the customer, because they want, at the end of the day, they need their job done. So they want to get that done as easily and efficiently as possible. So if they see that we're trying to, better help them, then they'll appreciate that. And it's like you were talking about before, it's that trust.
That's right.
And you're going to create that loyalty and trust if you're always following up with them, trying to solve their needs. And I think it goes a long way. So just separating yourself, like you said too, everyone prides themselves on service. So how do you differentiate yourself if everyone's priding themselves on service? And I think it's a matter of just following through. Don't overpromise, just have the customer's best interest in mind and focus on that.
Yeah. I think consistency too. Mm-hmm. I mean, you mentioned the staff, but if companies call up and one day the service is great and the next day the service is bad, mm-hmm. You don't have to be everything to everyone, but if you can sit there and have consistent performance, it really resonates with the customers.
And that's tough. It is really tough. That's one of the hardest things to do,
right?
Because we're all human. We're going to have bad days, and it's just a matter of figuring out navigating those difficult times, right?
100%.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed too is I have a big thing where I focus on working backwards from yes instead of working backwards from no. So if a customer calls, I need X, Y, Z, yes, perfect. And they say, thank you very much. Hang up the phone, and it's like, okay, let's figure this out for them. Sometimes you get in a tricky spot.
That's right. That's a winning
mentality. Instead of saying like, I don't know, I'll see if I could do it for you. Just say yes and figure it out. I think that goes a long way. It's tough sometimes. Like I said, you get in some pretty sticky situations.
That's right.
But, that's what motivates you to kind of work hard and figure it out, and then it helps you for the next time.
I think that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, I think you're so right. I mean, execution is key, right? And it was one of the reasons why when Elliott and I first started discussing this kind of format, that we didn't really want to do another interview format. Like, there's enough of those out there, but more so, like, when you interview anybody in the rental industry, what are the first 15 minutes of the conversation? It's, well, we offer the best customer service in our area, and we have the best people in the area. Like, every single person says that. Yeah. Without a doubt. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that everybody can have the best service and the best people at the same time. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know that a lot of those people, they say that and they feel that, and maybe they do have decent service. Maybe they're good order takers or question answerers.
Or maybe they're good with just a few customers.
But
they do an amazing job with their top 10. Everybody else?
Are they delighting people? Are they being creative? Are they solving problems in that way? I think that's where the real differentiation happens. And I think the only way to know if somebody's doing that is to have real examples of that. everybody's going to say that's what they do because that's what you should do. That's obvious. But how do you actually do that? And do you do it in a way that makes a difference? And I think that leads us to another really good question here about pricing. My reps are always discounting so heavily that it's no longer profitable. They always drop the price at the first customer resistance. How can I drop this?
You want to tackle that one?
Yeah, I think a lot of people's first go-to is lower the price.
Yeah.
I'm just going to lower the price and lock in this deal, but it's not just a matter of price. People will pay more for better service, better quality, and it's about teaching your guys to, really push that. And, yes, we have the best customer service, like everyone says, but, just following through on that and just explaining how we can help them and how our individual service will benefit this customer. And yeah, people will pay more for a better product, right?
See, I think it's a default. I always give the story of, a little kid goes to his dad and says, "Dad, can I have a new bike?" And the first thing the dad says is, "How much is it?" Where the little kid that goes to his dad and says, "Dad, I ride my bike to and from school every day. And obviously me having reliable transportation, and my bike the other day got a flat tire and I had to push it home in the rain. And if I get sick, you and Mom are going to have to take a day off of work to stay home with me. Can you think of any reason why you wouldn't want to buy me a new bike?" And it changes the entire dynamic of it. And I think the problem is as an industry, we have a lot of sales reps that are not sales reps. They're order takers. They answer their phone. The company is based with a lot of archived great customers. They have an amazing customer base. And those loyal customers are going to call you no matter what. So the sales reps rely on that, and they quit hustling and taking the service because they actually make a difference to the next level. And I think that if I had to look at it when it boils down to the nitty-gritty, how good do your sales reps go out and enhance the customer experience? Ask great questions. Ask what else they need. Are they just saying, "Yeah, you need an excavator"? Or are they asking about the bucket? Are they asking about the backfill blade? Are they asking about enclosed cab? Are they asking about heat and AC? Like, what are they asking about? And the truth is a lot of them are very one-dimensional, and they assume they're not advisors to the customer on their equipment. They're just order takers. And I think it's an element of service that's left out. And I also think that companies need to look more dynamically of what value they bring. Like, do you do equipment show days? Can I come into your dealership and will you teach my employees how to operate a mini excavator? I can bring anybody down and you explain just simple things. How to check the oil, check the battery, different attachments, all the things. And what value do you bring that's above everybody else in the market? And it's not just service like pickup, delivery, and maintenance. It's service like, how do you help me do my project? And the more skilled people I have, the more I understand it. I mean, everybody in here has had somebody fill their diesel tank with DEF fluid. But what are we doing as an industry to prevent it? And I think that the companies that are going to go out and really offer more than what's expected are what's going to elevate.
So what I'm hearing from you is what really is happening is people are pressing the easy button. I'm an order taker, and it's not hard work to just lower the price. It is hard work to sell, right?
Absolutely.
We actually did a study a number of years ago and tracked what people really wanted when they called us. And when I say what they really wanted, what is the most common question what you get when somebody calls you about equipment rental? It's, how much is it? Or do you have a blank? And more often than not, it's how much is it? So we actually tracked all the calls where the first question the customer asked was about price. And the easy answer is to assume the conversation is about price. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you do what I'm about to say, but we did it for the sake of the study because we wanted to know what was possible. So if you handle the call properly, now you have to handle the call properly, you have to consult, you have to show value, you have to build a relationship. But if you do all those things, 50% of the time you can get off the phone with that customer and get the order without ever giving a price when that was their first question.
Well, they've proven that inside counter gets higher rates, better pickup and delivery, gets better everything than the outside sales reps do.
Yeah.
Because they just take the order. Where the sales reps go out and the first time somebody says, what's the price? The sales reps immediately turn into the red hot chili peppers and they just give it away now.
Yes. So to take that even a step further, so 50%, they don't even get a price. You got the order. Again, I'm not recommending that, but we wanted to know. 25% of the people, you get the order and then they say something like, oh, right, so what was the price on that? You've already got the order. Only 25% of the time when somebody calls and their very first question is how much is a blank, did they actually care about the price? And oftentimes even in that case, it's, hey, I'm a contractor, I'm quoting a job or I'm bidding something and I need to know that information. But if you have the relationship, if you know what you're doing, if you're really taking care of that customer, as long as your pricing is fair, then it's not about price. So if your sales reps are just dropping the price and that's their only solution, they're not sales reps.
I agree with you. And here's a crazy one. And if your reps are like, oh, you have to give the customer a lower price, how does Home Depot exist? Not one person in here has ever walked into Home Depot and negotiated the price on their rental counter. It's not an option. But for some reason, they're still growing and they're doing more rental than ever and they're doing fine. And everybody's happy with the fact that they pay the posted price, even though it's 10 or 20% above our book rate. And it really boils down to, convenience, and people are willing to pay for it. And I hate to say it, but we assume that it's all about rate. Sometimes it's just an inquiry. How much is it?
Yeah, 100%.